All right, we're just going to roll straight into this. I've been weighing up what to introduce you as, Ed, because you are minority owner, but you are also sporting director. You are also former soccer player. The list of your accomplishments go on. So, welcome to the show. I've been really, really excited to get you on to talk about the upcoming season, your work so far. But I have to ask, how are you feeling? Under 3 weeks out now from the first game?
Anticipation is growing rapidly. I wish the season opener was tomorrow, to be honest with you, although we're not ready. But I think the expectations for year two with the McKinney Chupacabras is off the charts.
Yeah, the excitement amongst us behind the scenes is off the
crazy.
charts. I'm
It's
really
crazy.
excited.
Yeah.
You mentioned we're probably not quite ready yet for the home opener, but in terms of, look, I wish it was tomorrow as
I
well,
know,
so we
it's
could get back
crazy.
down there at Rompo. But it isn't. We've still got a few weeks to go. And our new head coach, Frank Yallop, is about to fly into town. By the time this comes out, he would have already taken his first training session, already met the squad that he'll be using this season. What a phenomenal appointment, Ed. We'll talk a little bit about how it actually all came about, but just having a look at the appointment of Frank Yallop for what that means for the USL, but what that means for the Chupacabras. It's a monumental moment in a pivotal year of soccer, isn't it?
Yeah, it's probably one of the biggest signings across the American soccer landscape. No pun intended. No disrespect to other franchises, but there's only so many Frank Yallops in this country, and Frank and I were opponents in '96. He was with Tampa Bay. I was with the Dallas Burn. And we came into the coaching scene together as assistant coaches, and he took off and did quite well. I mean, you can't argue with his success.
You could say he's done quite well.
We maintained a good friendship throughout the years, and we talked a couple years ago about the desire to work together. I think we have a lot of the same principles and ideals, and I put a little bit of pressure on Frank. But no, in all honesty, Frank loves the city of McKinney. What sealed the deal for him was his visit here, and he saw how the downtown area was and the people were and how they've really come to terms with this USL2 franchise. Yeah. And I just think it's just been a real good tour right now. That's just going up and up and up. So excited to go even higher.
Yeah, everyone I've spoken to so far around the Yallop appointment, first of all, have said what a huge appointment it is. But second of all, and probably more importantly, actually, how nice of a guy Frank is.
He's phenomenal. He's as I said in his press release, as good as a manager and a football guy that he is. He's a better person.
Yeah.
And he's quality. He's class. I mean, look at his resume. I mean, Canadian national team, MASL Coach of the Year. I mean, he's played for decades and stuff. So and everywhere he leaves, and everywhere he goes, it's the same mutual respect that everybody has for Frank and Frank has for them. So I think it's a great pickup for us. My phone has non-stopped ringing nationwide, including European friends. How did you guys get Frank Yallop? So, but he's excited. Yeah. So you said by the time this airs, he'll already be hitting the ground running, and we're excited.
Yeah, you mentioned a few moments ago about yours and Frank's kind of ideologies and your beliefs kind of being aligned. Can you shed a little bit of light onto what that really means?
So Frank is old school, and he's a player's coach, and he likes attacking soccer. He has a phrase, be on the front foot, which to soccer people, that means we're attacking. Yeah. On the back foot, you're taking pressure. On the front foot, you're giving pressure. So, I expect us to be attack-minded. Yeah. I expect us, if we do lose a game, it'll be 5-4 and not 1-0. So, but I think the players are just as excited as well, too. We've had some sessions in preparation for Frank's arrival, and it's been buzzing. Yeah. Atmosphere, energy. I mean, the boys are on time. early. So it's a really good. You want to create an atmosphere where, yeah, it's a job. It's also a passion, and I think that's what we're creating here in McKinney.
Yeah, and as your role as sporting director, you've been responsible for bringing in a large portion of the players for Frank. We're building a really exciting roster, and I say that completely from an unbiased point of view, as is proven by the fact we have two drafted MLS players on the roster. I think that speaks volumes.
Possibly one more to come.
Possibly
as well,
one more
too.
to come
I'm
as well.
working on another one. So.
And a couple of our guys that we have on the cusp of actually being in that similar position as well. How have you gone about trying to build that squad with returning players, but also new players coming in? What's kind of the process that you go through to do that?
So for me, it actually started at the end of last season. So I think you do an evaluation of what we have, how we did, what direction we want to go, and by all accounts, we a bit underachieved. No disrespect to the previous players or coaching staff, but it was the first year. I thought off the field we were spectacular. I didn't think our on the field matched our off the field successes right now. So I assembled a pretty good staff, and everybody has. It's like a staff is like a fine dinner. The nice recipe. You got to have some meat and some potatoes and some vegetables. You got to have some spice as well too, and then top off with a little bit of dessert and maybe a couple old fashions, and that'll be a nice meal, buddy.
Yeah, you're speaking the language there, Frank. As I know he's partial to an old fashioned. Part of that coaching staff, hugely exciting appointment, and in terms of the viewers, and in terms of the views that we've had online and the comments and the feedback, everyone's gone crazy for Omar.
Yeah.
Omar being, Frank's right-hand man. I think having a younger guy like Omar straight out of a playing career, that's hugely exciting, not only for him, but also for Frank to be able to work alongside each other.
So I think the USL 2 is all about development as well too.
Yeah.
We want our players and our staff to go to the next level. USL 1, Championship, MLS, national teams, Europe, whatever the case may be. We actually sent one of our players over to Dundalk, Ireland, a couple of months ago to get some exposure as well too. So Omar falls in that category. He's a young coach. He's going to be first assistant on the first team, and he's going to also be the head coach of the reserve team. So he can kind of get a little bit of experience from the head side as well as learning under Frank's tutelage. He's very charismatic. He speaks really well. He's got Jamaican English accent of his going on. Always got a smile on his face. He's got a great attitude, good emotion, good passion. I think it's going to be a really, really good mix with those two guys together.
And I suppose that's kind of what you build your teams upon with the Texas Spurs and the philosophy that you have there with them, and then also with the Chupacabras. It's just about having fun, but also just, really enjoying what you do, but with a certain attitude to it.
No matter what you do, you got to have fun. You have to enjoy. If you have to get up and it's a chore going to practice, then you've got to change what you're doing. Even at my age, I can't wait till practice, And then you can see at the end, it's like, okay, that's enough, guys. And some of the guys go, no, 5 more minutes, please. Or, next goal wins. That's the way we as coaches kind of reflect and evaluate on how we're doing. And at the end of the day, it has to be fun. We want to win. Don't get me wrong. I'm built to win. I want to win. But I also believe winning is a byproduct. Attention to details is massive for me. If we do X, Y, and Z properly, the results are going to be there. If we fail and we don't pay attention to some attention to details, we'll leave our guy at the back post, and we don't put our chances in on the services. We're not tight with our connections, or our pressure's not, together and cohesive. Then those are going to equal some losses. And so I think Frank's big on details as well too, as you know, and he's going to really kind of hit every note, if you will.
Yeah. In terms of the season, you said, you want to win. That's the aim for the season, right? I know we don't want to say too much about what the aims of the team are, but certainly an improvement on the field, I think is kind of on top of the wish list, right?
Well, first of all, Ron Poe needs to be a fortress. So with our fan base and our excitement, we will accept nothing but wins at home. So first and foremost, that has to be just tattooed in everybody's mind. This is our home, and we don't lose at home. And then on the road, I think we're going to surprise some people because of our style of play. So we've got a deep squad. It'll get deeper. We've announced already several good candidates to make our team, and Frank's going to be, fine tuning that when he gets here right away. And I don't want to demand a win or to predict a championship, but I think when you win, you get better gas mileage. Your wife doesn't argue with you as much anymore. The dog doesn't do his business in the house, So winning is a habit, and it's a lifestyle, and it's a lifestyle that I enjoy.
Yeah, and I think looking ahead to this season, a brand new division. Only one team have carried over from last year's division into this new one called the Ranger Division. For those that aren't familiar, we've got Denton Diablos that are back with us. But we've also got Texoma FC and Fort Worth Vaqueros in the DFW area, and then a few further trips out to Lubbock and to West Texas. Just from sort of a coach's point of view, surely it's better to have those local games, local rivalries, but also for travel time. Last year, one of the games we played, I think against Hattiesburg, it was a 9-hour drive on a bus.
It's difficult. Difficult. You want to give your players every opportunity to be successful, and one of that is preparation. They'll be fit, obviously, and stuff, and stuff like that. But having these Texas teams creates rivalry. Obviously, you're at Nottingham Forest. I'm a Liverpool guy. You want the rivalries that just can really build. And I think the Diablos Chupacabras rivalry is going to be massive. I think Tacoma, we play them 3 times, or Texoma, excuse me. That's going to be a big rivalry. And I don't mind going out to Lubbock because they've got a good fan base.
Yeah.
West Texas will too, so we'll play in front of some good fan bases this year as well. Yeah. So it's like you said, no 8-9 hour bus rides, which, by the way, those are actually quite fun as well too. Those are good team bonding moments.
Yeah.
But we can bond with a little 4 or 5 hour trip as opposed to a 9 hour trip.
There's different ways to go around that bonding rather than being sat on a bus for 9 hours. What kind of things will you look to do this season? Because we've got less of that travel time, it gives you more of an opportunity to get the players together, to get them, bonding together, go to different kind of events and stuff. What kind of stuff do you plan on doing with the players to kind of bring them a little bit closer together?
So we have a lot of sponsorships that are available right away in the city of McKinney. We want to have some player appearances, at these companies and just meet people, meet and greet. We also want to do a lot of match analysis this year as well too. So the league has a sponsorship with a company called Spidio, so we're going to do that and take full advantage of that as well too. And those moments, just a team breakfast, a team together, just to, have a guest speaker come in or watch a video analysis, or maybe even just watch a Champions League final, something like that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Those moments are priceless because team bonding, you cannot equate the importance of that, because when your brothers on the field, and if you become brothers off the field, you become that closer bond on the field, and that chemistry is strengthened.
Yeah, and I think that will kind of help, certainly this season, but because a lot of our players have returned. I think out of the 15 or so at the time of recording that we've announced, at least half of those guys were together last year. Some of them, like Milton and Jalen and Nathan Kinzer, all 3 of those were from SMU. So they've already got that bond, and coming into this season now that they have that connection together, I think that'll really help. We've spoken a lot about this upcoming second season. What about the future? What about further on from this season? I know we don't like to say, look, what are we going to look like in 5 to 10 years? But just from your point of view as the sporting director, where would you like to see the team develop over the next few years?
Well, once we get our 10,000 season ticket fan base in order, and we're getting players exposed and contracts around the landscape and as well as Europe, and then after we have our stadium built here in McKinney, and we've got our back-to-back USL2 titles. Beyond that, we'll see how it goes.
Quite lofty ambitions there, Ed. And is that a strong belief in Frank, or just a strong belief in just kind of the project here at the Chupacabras?
Both. I think one of the reasons Frank is coming to Chupacabras is I think he sees a future as well too. The fact that we've got a fan base with 1,001 season tickets last year. I mean, we had 4,200 fans at our home opener, and I'm hoping for 6,000 this year. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. At our May 16th home opener at Ron Poe. And Ron Poe is a great stadium. Don't get me wrong, but I would like to see us go to the next level. And maybe, USL 1, there's promotion relegation coming up.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to push that envelope to the next level if Mr. Hitchcock thinks it's the right, time and the right recipe, if you will, to enter that arena. I would support that as well too, obviously, but it's going to take a lot of cooperation from our town, from our city, from our fans, from our sponsors as well to do something like that.
Yeah,
So.
and I think a huge part of that is this summer of soccer we've got on the horizon. You're a
Huge.
huge soccer guy, and I feel I'd be crazy not to bring up the World Cup.
I mean, we're going to have watch parties here in downtown McKinney. It's going to be insane. And I'll be honest with you, as much as I want to go see some World Cup games, the atmosphere that's going to be created here in McKinney is going to be phenomenal. Yeah. And it's not going to cost me $1,000 for a World Cup ticket, which is insane. But I do think those prices are going to come down at some point. But sure. I think our fan zones here, I think we don't have a single conflict with our games, with the World Cup. So it's like you said, it's summer of soccer. It's going to be phenomenal. Yeah. Strap in. Let's go for a ride.
Yeah. What memories do you have? I'm sorry, I'm showing your age slightly here, Ed. But what memories do you have of that '94 World Cup? The last time it was here.
So I was a member of the World Cup squad. I was one of the final cuts. Didn't make the squad, which hurt a little bit, as every player's dream to play in the World Cup. I was based at the time in Chicago. I went to the opening ceremony game in Chicago, and I went to the game in Detroit with Sweden and Brazil. I went to Boston and watched my Italians with Baggio play and beat Nigeria. And so I hit about 6 games, and I just saw the country just fall in love again, with the World Cup. I hope we don't make the mistake of making it too corporate. By that, I mean if we price ourselves out, we won't have any, working class people have a chance to go to the game and show their love for their countries and stuff like that. So I really hope ticket prices come down, because if we get a corporate crowd, you'll lose that atmosphere. My first World Cup was in 1990 in Italy, and being at Torino Stadium, watching Brazil and Scotland and Careca 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper. Those are memories you just can't erase.
Yeah.
So.
And hopefully some more of those memories will come, be it, you're watching in the stadium or watching at some of the watch parties that we will have down at Tups Brewery, all 104 games. We will be showing live down at Tups this summer.
You want to know how far our country's come? This is how old I am.
Go on.
1974. I was 12 years old. Don't do the math, people. Could only watch the World Cup via closed circuit TV.
Wow. In
East Dallas, my dad took me to the game, and obviously West Germany played against Holland. And in the first kickoff, 16 passes, Johan Cruyff goes in, and he gets taken down for a penalty kick before the Germans touch the ball. And I'm a 12-year-old. I was already playing at the time, but just fell in love even more so with the world game. And my favorite team of all time was the 74 Dutch team. Should have won the World Cup, in my opinion. But
it's interesting. I've got a lot of Dutch friends, so I might have to ask them.
I actually played with Bernd Holzenbein, who was taken down for the penalty kick.
He won the penalty. Wow.
Yeah. And I asked him, was it a dive? And he refused to answer. So rest his soul. But great stories he had. Yeah. He never bought a beer after that World Cup his entire life. Never bought a beer throughout his life in Germany.
What? Oh, in Germany.
In Germany.
Just a straight out.
I played with him in Memphis with the Memphis Storm back in '89. So
awesome. I love it. I think we should just have a little prediction from you before we wrap up for the World Cup. Your winner of the World Cup, and then I'll also say where you think the US will finish. And Italy, why not? Oh, wait. Oh, I reeled it in there. To be fair, they might actually be.
I heard.
They might get reinstated. To be fair,
you may eat those words.
I may eat those words. Right.
Yes, I'm Italian and half Italian, and I cannot begin to tell you the frustration and the anger of 3
a
consecutive
row.
World Cups. It's like once they won the Euros, they hit the pinnacle. It's just insane. And they need to change their entire structure.
Yeah.
That's a whole different
podcast.
podcast. No kidding. Predictions. I hate to say this. I think France has got way too many tools to not be considered a favorite. I think they play a really good brand of soccer, very attack-minded. They have so many weapons. I think Spain in their youth is going to be a factor as well too. Regarding the U.S., I like our head coach. I like him a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like some of our players' attitudes. I think playing for the World Cup, playing for your nation, I don't care if it's a friendly, I don't care if it's a World Cup, I don't care if it's the Gold Cup, whatever the case may be, is a thrill and a privilege that you can't replicate.
Mm-hmm.
And there is no vacation that supersedes your chance and invitation to play for your country. Mm-hmm. You look at Ronaldo, you look at Messi, you look at Pele, you look at the greats. They play for their country no matter what the situation was. And because of that, I think some of our players have kind of missed the boat a little bit. We've had some success in Europe with some of our players, which I'm happy. But we need more Clint Dempseys that roll their sleeves up and get the job done, and not worry about money and not worry about endorsements. And just, if I have a chance to play for my country, then you play for your country. Yeah. And because of that, I don't think that we've arrived. I don't think we have a clear starting 11, which 2 months out is not a good sign. So I think we'll get out of the first round because of the way that the World Cup has expanded. Yeah. But I don't see us going past that, unfortunately. So an early exit, unfortunately.
Oh, I feel like that's a really negative way to finish off.
My apologies.
So I'm going to
I'm hopeful.
I'm going to allow you to finish off the podcast in a bit more of a positive note and just give a call to action to the fans at home of why they should come down and support the team on May 16th for the home opener.
It's our team. You're a Nottingham Forest, supporter. Your dad was a Nottingham Forest supporter. You were born as a Nottingham Forest supporter. I'm a Liverpool supporter, which, by the way, we were champions last year. I'm sorry if I didn't point that out sooner. A bit of a tough road this year, but we're still in the top 4. My son is a Liverpool supporter. My grandkids have Liverpool kids. They're Liverpool supporters. My daughter is a Liverpool supporter, and she put it best. She goes, "You're born into it." We want Chupacabras fans to be born into Chupacabras supporters. We want Ron Poe to rock. We want our Chupacabras supporters to be there thick and thin. Not a fan, a supporter. Yeah. A fan is there when the team does well. A supporter is there through thick and thin. And so we want to create a culture. We want to create a brand that the Chupacabras are here to stay. I mean, the fans picked the name. The fans picked the colors. I mean, the fans picked the beer. The fans picked the cookie, I think, as well. I mean, we're flying. Yeah. A lot of credit goes to Michael Hitchcock and his wizardry of marketing ability, and the office is doing great with our season tickets that we currently have. But we want to pack the Po. I think that's your line, correct?
Yeah.
So we want everybody to come out, pack the Po, show our players how much it means to represent the Chupacabras. We want players to turn down offers to go play elsewhere because they want to stay here and play for you fans at Ron Poe at the McKinney Chupacabras.
And that is the positive end I wanted to end on. Ed, thank you so much for joining us.
Pleasure.
Everyone at home on YouTube, make sure to subscribe. If you're listening on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, make sure to follow. And we'll be back, I'm sure, in the future with another episode of Inside the Den. Goodbye.